and those ones in grain trade. If you may remember, sometime back, a very good weather, and it was bumper harvest. And the government was urging the population, please go to the gardens, produce. The farmers produced, but the market was insufficient. So therefore, the government decided to say, well, if the market is insufficient, then we can provide the working capital to some of the farmers who can buy the grain from the farmers, such that the market is available. So that scheme also is available as we are going through, and you'll be in position to see what actually happens. The salient features of the agricultural credit facility. This agricultural credit facility offers you a loan to a maximum of 2.1 billion. And it will give you a maximum period of 8 years to repay the loan. And we do have 3 years grace period. The loan goes further to say that the minimum period can be 6 months, but we range up to 8 years. The interest rate, people are very, very interested in hearing this. The government of Uganda is giving you this money at only 12%. Very affordable. If you translated this on a monthly basis, the government is lending to a farmer at 1%. Some of us have dealt with money lenders. They will give you at 15, 20% per month. But the government is saying, please come to Bank of Uganda, go to the commercial banks and get this money at 1% per month, translating to 12% per year. The processing fee of this facility is only 0.5%. And this facility is interest-free as far as Bank of Uganda is concerned, but the commercial bank is going to lend you this money not to an interest which goes beyond 12%. Whereas I've mentioned that if you are in primary agriculture and agro-processing, we can lend you up to a tune of 2.1 billion. But if you are going to deal with in grain trade, we can lend you up to 10 billion. And the duration is 2 years. We are giving you simply 2 years because you are dealing in already almost a finished product. So 2 years, and you'll be in position to pay back this money after 2 years, what we call bullet payment, with the interest thereon. So you are able to stay with this money for 2 years and pay at the end of the period. For you, we are lending you this money at 15%. Remember, agricultural credit in on-farm activities, agro-processing, it is 12%. But if you are involved in grain trade, buying grains from the farmers, storing, adding value, exporting, we are lending you at 15% and stay with the money for 2 years and pay us at the end of 2 years. I talked about private-public partnership. Like I said earlier, the government contributes 50%. Government, the private sector will contribute 50% in the grain trade. But if you go through the microfinance, if you go through the credit institutions, the interest, the sharing arrangement is that the government is going to contribute 70%, whereas the credit institutions and the microfinance will only contribute 30%. The question is, who are these people eligible for the agricultural credit finance? All persons or entities that are involved in the agricultural sector, agro-processing, and grain trade are all welcome under this scheme. And you may be an individual, me and you. You may be a partnership. You may be a company, but dealing in agricultural produce. You are involved in the agricultural sector. My dear brother, my dear sister, my uncle, you are eligible to get this money. What are the eligible projects? Because we have to understand exactly, before you approach the commercial bank, what are the eligible projects that this facility can fund. Acquisition of agricultural machinery. Since yesterday I had people talking over agricultural machinery. Those ones that can store matoke, can process matoke, can do that. Please come visit any commercial bank near you and tell them exactly what you would like to acquire. If it is machinery, please, this scheme will help you acquire that machinery. If you are going to buy the silos, what we call post-harvest handling equipment, the facility is there. We shall fund you and you acquire the post-harvest handling equipment. If you want to open up land for agriculture, if you want to do paddocking, if you want to do excavation, in totality what we call on-farm improvement, the agricultural credit facility is there for you. It welcomes you. Please go and get this money at only 12%. There are those ones who are interested in buying cattle. We're in the Ankole region and we're popularly known for that. Please come for this money. If you want to do restocking, we shall give you this money up to around 800 million to go and purchase the cattle. If you're involved in matoke, you want to buy the suckers, please approach any commercial bank. And what I caution you is, when you go to commercial bank, I want you to be clear. Be clear. Don't go and say, I want an agricultural loan. These commercial banks do have similar products. They will sell you their own product. Just do me a favor and tell them that you want an agricultural credit, the government of the Republic of Uganda, and managed by Bank of Uganda. All these participating financial institutions, all commercial banks are allowed to participate in this. They will give you a form, you fill, and they will give you all the necessary information that you need. If you go to commercial banker A and doesn't help you, go to commercial banker B. They will be in position to help you. And if you are frustrated in any way, before I leave this podium, I'm going to leave you with the contact, which you can use to get in touch with the Bank of Uganda and raise your complaint if you failed to access, simply because maybe the officers there were unwilling to help you. So if you want to do irrigation, if you want working capital for grain, if you want to do an agro-processing, adding value to our agricultural products, please go to any commercial bank and tell them that you would like to access the SCF. And definitely you'll be in a position to get this money. Technology is failing me here. Okay, having known the eligible projects, what are these projects that the agricultural credit facility does not fund? Now, like you have understood that the SCF is given at 12%, and maybe earlier on you had visited a commercial bank and you acquired a loan at 20%. Please kindly don't go to acquire the SCF with the intention of settling the previous loan with the commercial bank. We don't allow that. We don't fund that kind of move. We don't fund the purchase of land because, you know, value from land may take quite some time. And this is a facility that was put in place to ensure that every Ugandan benefits. So therefore, we want quick projects that will bring in money such that the next Ugandan who is waiting at the doorway can also benefit from this scheme. So we don't even fund the planting of trees. There are some other avenues that you can get the funding, but not under the agricultural credit facility. Now, what are these requirements? Because I had some people talking about there are so many requirements, but for SCF, there are not so many. There are very few. I just want you to note them, and then we shall be in position to be in business. Okay, thank you. Yeah, in the interest of time, those are the requirements. You need to open up a bank account. Since yesterday we were talking about the bankable proposal, CRB report, this one tells us where you have borrowed, such that even if you have a loan in Centenary and you are coming to DFCU, it will indicate that you have a loan in Centenary, provided that the loan is being financed well, you are repaying. Having a loan does not stop you from acquiring another loan under SCF, provided the cash flows stand for you and they tell us that you'll be able to finance the two or to service the two loans. Spousal consent and other things. Some other requirements, you will visit the commercial banks and they will be in position to help you understand what exactly is required. Now, this is the solution to the small holders. Some time back, there were allegations that SCF, UDB, and the other schemes that have been put in place favor big investors or big farmers. I'm here to say no. Even a small farmer can benefit from SCF. How? Where you do not have collateral, which is required by commercial banks, in most cases, SCF is saying if you are going to borrow to up to 20 million and below, you may be given this money without necessarily having a collateral security. But other means of collateral may be considered. For example, your character, your banking history, chattel mortgages, cash flows, they will have to analyze all that and they will give you that money provided does not exceed 20%. If you can even borrow at around 100,000 or 500, provided you are in a group and that group does not go beyond 1.5 billion, you'll be in position to get this money. The process is there. You'll just go to the commercial bank and tell them we are in a group, but each need size of 1 million each, provided when we take the summation of that group, it doesn't go beyond the 1.5 billion. I just wanted to show you exactly the performance, but because of the time, I may not be in position to articulate these figures properly to you. But on the surface of it, I want to tell you that we have been in position to disburse loans up to 624 billion as at 30th September. As I speak now, we are at 660 billion, but I did not want to share that information as at 31st December because it is not yet approved by the Minister of Finance. What are the key achievements? We have extended credit up to 624 billion as at 30th September. We have enhanced financial inclusion through block allocation, where small holders have also accessed. We have helped around 386 smallholders to a tune of 4.9 billion. So those are some of the achievements that we have done. At post-harvest handling, we have given loans up to 92 billion. So the statistics is there. So we are trying to say that SCF has done quite well, and we have received several awards as being the best agricultural financing entity. But this cannot go without challenges. What are the challenges? Inadequate capitalization. We are still negotiating with the government to add us more money such that we are able in position to support the agricultural sector. By that time, we had a deficit of 21 billion, but this one has narrowed it down. But because of recent, they sent some money on the escrow account. And we had also a challenge of the COVID-19 pandemic. This one goes without saying, everybody is aware, where we had to reschedule some loans and the inflows were had to dwindle. The lengthy process of writing off the non-performing loans, as this can also be told by the commercial banks, that's the outcry that is outside there. But what is the way forward? We are requesting government to recapitalize us such that actually the objective is realized. Also to establish a framework of writing off the non-performing loans, because this one is currently sitting on the financial statements of the commercial banks, and it impacts on their profitability. We also are considering de-risking the agricultural sector and several things. But as Barbara told you, and several questions were coming in as far as Small Business Recovery Fund is concerned. This one I will not go through the presentation that I have prepared. I don't want to be selfish because there are other people who are also waiting. But I can assure you that the government of Uganda introduced what we call Small Business Recovery Fund for those projects or businesses that were gravely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. And those businesses can still show proof that they can be helped and come back to track. We have that money, and it is at 10%. Every business, right from border, saloon, and whatsoever, please visit any commercial bank. The loans, the money is there. And as I speak now, the deputy governor, Bank of Uganda, and the permanent secretary, Minister of Finance, are launching the campaigning strategy on the 3rd, countrywide campaign. And right now we are on TVs, on radios, informing the public about the availability of this fund. I'm still available. You can get in touch with me, and we talk business as we give the opportunity for other people to occupy the podium. I thank you, Barbara, for being patient with me.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you. The head of the Agricultural Credit Facility at Bank of Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we are tired, we are hungry, we want to walk around, and some of you are like, Ibanage, this thing has to end already. But we just have just a few more presentations, and then we will have our guest, our chief guest in for us to actually have the final sign-offs, and we will close. But closing does not mean that we have closed, we are not coming back. Closing just means that this session will be closed, but we will be here to make sure that what we have promised, we deliver. Just a few announcements. If anyone is feeling a little bit lightheaded, or you just need a back massage or something like that, we have a tent in the back. If you feel you're not feeling very well, we have some nurses on ground. Also, if you want to donate blood, if we get into now the blood section, that will be another afternoon. We do have a tent where you can donate blood, ladies and gentlemen, because blood is the #1 thing that is actually needed in Uganda today, as you all know. So if you can please donate blood, the tent is also available for you to do that. Next up, we have one of our sponsors. He has 5 minutes. Thank God these are Americans. Americans know how to keep time, yeah? So we have USAID, Feed the Future. They'll come and just give us a few remarks, tell us what they do, what they're all about in 5 minutes. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Our host, UDB, thank you so much for having us. I'm from USAID Feed the Future Strategic Investments Activity. It's a USAID program that seeks to support businesses to unlock commercial investments from especially private capital providers and development finance institutions. My name is Kenneth Nkumiro, and I work there as the Enabling Environment Advisor. Greetings from our Chief of Party, Robert Anyang. He couldn't make it here. Now, do we have the presentation? I'm not going to follow it, but I just want to use 2 slides. Our mission is to unlock $140 million in the next 4 years into this country from both domestic and foreign investors. So our work seeks to support companies towards investment readiness. Everyone has been talking about delays in accessing finance, delays in accessing the loans and so on, but it all points towards investment readiness. So our project seeks to support companies to make them ready, to make them attractive and match them with investors. So for our partner UDB, we will be happy to support your pipeline companies to be investment ready so that you can unlock the finance. Because investment readiness takes quite some money, it also takes quite some time. And this is the cost that USAID is cushioning right now. We will be able to do that at our own cost. Whatever we are doing is aligned to the government of Uganda priorities, especially under NDP3, that looks at unlocking commercial finance for key sectors. We want to unlock $140 million in the next few years. Please go on. That's the link to the National Development Plan, how we align. Our approach is to support businesses by assigning transaction advisors to businesses at our cost who help you to work through what the financials require, both the private capital providers, but also development finance institutions like the Uganda Development Bank. Please proceed. That is where we are today. The appetite for financing in this country is very high. This activity is just 5 months old since we started, but in terms of the people who come and say we are looking for money, that's where we are. We have deals in the energy sector, we have deals in the agricultural sector, we have deals in the health sector. You can see that in the agricultural sector, we have 108 deals, and they are looking for about 400 million US dollars. Companies in our pipeline, about 150 companies to date that have reached out and they are looking for finance. So our job is now to make them ready so that they can access this finance from private capital providers and UDB. Some of the companies that we have in the pipeline have actually reached out to UDB. So we hope that we'll be working with UDB to ensure that we support these companies to unlock the finance. In terms of the geographical spread of these companies and what they want the money for, the areas you see shaded blue are where the companies are. So far in northern Uganda, we have 22 deals. In Karamoja sub-region, 3 deals. 18 deals in eastern Uganda, 24 in this region where we are, and about 58 in the central region. Please proceed. Those are some of our collaborating partners. Proceed. That is what we hope to do with our collaborating partners. We have MOUs in the pipeline. Some have been signed. Some are still in the pipeline. And that is what we hope to do with the partners. Please proceed. Now, if you are a company and you are looking for finance and you are here, this is what we can do for you. We can help you with your business plans. We can help you with financial modeling. We can help you with transaction advisory support, e.g. review of term sheets. We can also help you with opportunity validation. We also do neutral facilitation, because our only interest here is not to earn a commission as USAID, but it is to ensure that the company is happy, the investor is happy, you're able to pay back the money. That's why we have what we call the post-investment care. So we don't only support you towards closing a deal, but we work with you the journey even after you have got the money, because we have other development impact indicators that we track with the companies that we support. We also support foreign investors that want to come into the country, walk them through, link them to our partners in UIA, Uganda Free Zones Authority, for them to be able to access the different incentives that are available. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I've been very brief, but I want to say that we are here to work with you. All this we do at our cost. USAID has done projects that are to do with grants and so on, and they are moving now towards promoting self-reliance, and that's why the focus is now on commercial finance. The private sector is critical on the journey to self-reliance, and that's why the investments are now in the area of supporting transaction advisory and unlocking private capital for business growth. If businesses grow, URA will collect. If people formalize businesses, URSB will be working and the economy will be growing. I want to thank you very much once again for your time. We are in the tent just right there. Please come to us. We take your particulars and we will be reaching out to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. Yes, that was nice and brief. The opportunities are immense. The opportunities are immense, ladies and gentlemen. We're here all afternoon. We're going to have a closure very shortly of all this information, and then you can go and get to know a little bit better on how you can be a part of the development of Ankole region. As we are almost coming to a close, our chief guest, the Permanent Secretary Treasury, Ministry of Finance, Mr. Ramadan Gobi, will be here in his capacity as a representative for the President of Uganda, and he'll be coming here to do the sign-offs as we close off. But like I said, it is not closure. It is the beginning of a beautiful and fruitful partnership to inspire development in Ankole region. Now, our last presentations are testimonials on government financing interventions. And this one that I'm going to call up is Manyakabi Area Cooperative Enterprise, primary production and processing of maize and beans. And I don't know if the young lady is here, yes, to come and give us a few words. These are some people who have benefited from what we have to offer as Uganda Development Bank.
Thank you so much, the MC, the organizers, UDB, and OWC, protocol observed. My names are Claire Kavachenga, manager of Manyakabi Area Cooperative Enterprise, which is just 11 kilometers, Mbarara-Chikagate Road, Kaberebere Town Council, Isinjo District. It is a women's cooperative enterprise. We are composed of 146 farmer groups. It is a business entity owned, run, and by women. And those women are rural women, vulnerable, from hard to reach, even without collateral security. But Manyakabi NC has the land, it has collateral security, it has the land title, and that's what we used in assessing the UDB. Before that, we had accessed any loan from any bank because they were not farmer friendly. And our mission, next slide. Behind one. Yes, our mission is to stimulate, promote, and coordinate socio-economic empowerment, leading to the development of higher living standards in the farming communities of our members. And our vision is to improve the livelihood of people through socio-economic empowerment. And our goal is to improve income, food security, nutrition, family farming, welfare, and livelihoods of households through beans, soybeans, maize production, productivity, markets. Before UDB came in, we had three main challenges. Next slide. The challenge number one was low productivity. This is Isinjo is a drought-prone district with infertile soils, so the production volumes were virtually very low. We had a maize milling machine, but we are not using it to the full capacity because we didn't have the produce and we didn't have the working capital to help us in the bulking marketings. Then when the UDB came in, it funded two our core issues, the farm input loan and also the working capital. The loan input, we used it to buy the farm inputs, which were of high quality, improved, and at affordable prices. Then, what were the social economic benefits? But before socioeconomic benefits, obviously, I can begin with that. It helped in the employment of youth was increased by 40%. Why? Because when we had a working capital, we increased the backed volumes. We had only one shift milling team, but we have 3 milling shifts. In 24 hours, we have the capacity now of milling between 20 to 24 metric tons within 24 hours. It also meant that also in the animal feeds, the numbers increased from 3 to 10. And all those were attracting the what? The youth. You can go behind. We are happy that we are making also a contribution. We are complying with government policies. At least the last financial year, we were able to pay 50 million per annum in taxes. We pay payee, we file returns, we pay NSSF. We have increased our export value and volume. At least now we are able to export between 500,000 metric tons through Mutukula and Busia border. In fact, in the last season, when we didn't have maize on the Ugandan market, we were getting maize as far as Malawi and Zambia. We thank the government for creating a neighboring environment for even us, the small and micro social entrepreneurs, also to tap into government resources. The benefits of farmers are immense. First of all, when we increase the volume of production volumes, it means at a grain level, whether soya, beans, or maize, there was increase that. And when you add value to increased volumes, it means increased income at the household level. And one of the conditions satisfied to get UDB money is crop insurance. Crop insurance is real and it works. When we were paying crop insurance, me personally and the other leaders were not comfortable because we mobilized and paid 3 million in crop insurance. But we knew that money was lost. Then obviously there was sunshine, the gardens dried up. We had insured with Jubilee Insurance. Then when we were trying to compile the farms we have lost to come and claim, I received the phone call from Jubilee Insurance telling us how much they were going to compensate. They compensated 22 million to 146 farmers. And I asked them, they said, we are sending you the list. I asked them, where did you get that list? They told me they have a partnership with Netherlands government. In the weather index technology, when the farms dry, they are able to trace where those farms are and how many have dried and of what acreage. Sincerely, we're very grateful to government intervention. Also, other benefits, because they helped us. You know, UDB has competent staff, and I've seen knowledge being translated into wealth through our intervention with us. Because I've said for us, it's a women cooperative, and those women are micro and small. You know, things associated with that caliber of women in the hard to reach rural environment. So the other critical issue was of post-harvest handling. And in post-harvest handling, we purchased improved seeds and also post-harvest handling materials, tarpaulins, small silos of 800 kilograms, and which has helped us so much in terms of what? In terms of food security. And the income obviously has increased because the productivity increased from 300 kilograms to 1,000 per acre. So it was an increment of 800,000 per season on only the maize value chain, not mentioning beans or soya beans. Next slide. Okay, we have the future plans. The future plans, they're mainly two, because now we want asset financing, and we know, and we are hopeful UDB will continue to support us. The two are the silos and another production line, because now we have our machines have high quality, so we produce high quality maize flour. Our market has increased. We have penetrated in different market segments. We are also in the process of getting the chumak, and all those we are seeing increased diversification in market segments, and especially the good markets with a better price. So that's why we need another production line of improved technology. We also would like to have silos of 500 metric line automated for soya, maize, and beans. Because when it is a bumper harvest, all our maize is going outside through Busia border. And when it is off season, we are bringing back maize to Uganda at a higher price. But if we had silos, would be having capacity of maintaining it, because we have the capacity of milling 200 metric tons minimum per month. So we mill a lot of maize grains. Although we have a very good we have a warehouse of 1,000 metric tons, which is equipped with a cleaner, grader, and a sorter, but 1,000 metric tons is nothing to us compared to the level we have reached. That's why we would like to get another loan. We have received 2 loans in 7 months, in a period of 2 weeks. And that loan, the first loan, I think they were gauging us because we didn't have any track history of getting a loan. They gave us 300 million for 7 months with a grace period of 7 months. We are not paying any installment. We are not paying any interest. In the 6th month, we started collecting money and we paid back. When we paid back, like today, I told them we want another loan. They said submit your application. I have submitted, and in a period of 2 weeks, the money hit on our account, another 300 million. We are finalized. The second loan, we are finishing it, and I've told them that now we are moving to another level, to another stage. We are requesting now for asset financing. Initially they gave us a period of 7 months grace period, but now we shall request for 3 years, because we are going into asset financing, and they have told us this time it will be 10%. We are very grateful. And obviously, when they were doing when they came in, they did a lot of capacity building with us. That's why I'm telling you that now we are in the process of acquiring the chumak. We're in the process. We started, we paid, they have done the audit. We're in the last stages of getting the chumak. We have graduated from being analog into digital. We have different digital tools to help us. For example, we have digital planning tool to help us in different planning in the market, because we are in the whole value chain. The farmers do the planting, and quality assurance issues are handled at that level. At the SC level, we do the marketing and value addition. And along all those, there are different apps, there are different platforms. And I was impressed when they said the UDB was going to sign with the researcher, because we have a partnership with MAST, with CamTech Technology. Technology is a group of young engineers who are developing for us different apps, different platforms, and sincerely which are tailored to our business model. Otherwise, this money is real, is there, is for all of us. Abanyankole bajja kola tuli tukubaki mwaga ebyo ebintu babagambala ng'umurundi mwabulonda mbabakola ki esente mbazibahereza omwe ko kugamba oti ni bingi, but you know when they list down you think there are many. Even me the first time when we were trying to arrange, I said, out of 10 this document we don't have, but it's okay. Out of 10 I have 9. They can work on us. I submitted, I waited. You know, they make 4 apps. They said, hey, this document, it was just 1 sheet. We are not seeing it. I said, 1 sheet. Is 1 sheet making us fail to get that money? Yeah, yes. We want documentation. So however simple records you have, but as long as they're there, they are willing to help us, and that money is there. Thank you so much, UDB. Thank you so much, OWC, and other government programs, because they interrelate. They work hand in hand in so many ways. Otherwise, thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much. Our chief guest is here in the capacity of His Excellency, the President of Uganda. I was almost going to say the President of America. These things, we get confused sometimes. But in a few seconds, he'll be in. So in the interim, maybe let me have a music interlude in the interim as we welcome the chief guest. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was just an example of an organization that has profited from Uganda Development Bank, and I hope we've been listening to that. Thank you. Can we please have a music interlude as our chief guest comes in? Thank you. May we please rise, ladies and gentlemen, as our chief guest comes in. May we please rise.
Instead of going out to find trouble, that's just trouble. I think I run away sometimes whenever I get too vulnerable. That's not your fault. See, I wanna stay the whole night. I wanna lay with you till the sun's up. I wanna let you inside.
Can we please remain upstanding for the national anthem?
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. maendeleo pia mshikamano viwe msingi wa umoja wetu, na tulinde uhuru na amani, mila zetu na desturi zetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
May you please.
Viwandani na hata mashambani, tufanye kazi sote kwa makini, tujitoe kulinda mali, tuijenge jumuiya bora. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike.